linking the withdrawal of stimulus to GST is taking two imponderables and trying to make a confused mess out of it. I think what Mr. Gojaj is saying is that do not withdraw this stimulus package, if you want to call it that, till you are absolutely sure that the economy is on a sustainable path for growth. Is a valid argument. And in my opinion, if the finance minister can address the fiscal deficit through disinvestment, 3G auctions, and other tax buoyancy means, he should leave the withdrawal of the stimulus to the last. Only when he finds it absolutely impossible to address the fiscal deficit without touching this, should he really touch it. The increase in deficits was not due to the stimulus package, but on account of the additional outlay on subsidies, loan waiver, and the increased coverage of NRE.
Absolutely.
And this is the fact. And what Praful says and what Rahul says is absolutely correct, that unless the government leads us into a new paradigm where the deserving do get the subsidies, but the non-deserving do not get the subsidies. And I don't agree with Navika at all. Just following the law and using a non-pirated DVD does not entitle you to subsidies.
That is a joke, right? Also the point, bailout packages to Air India now, is that justified as far as government?
So that's exactly the point I'm making.
Exactly. What is good spending, what is necessary spending, what is most necessary spending?
Somebody else comes, sorry, what the government subsidies, like we all agree, and I think Praful said as well, that the deserving requires subsidies. There is no argument against that. The issue is to clearly define, identify, and target the deserving.
Yeah.
And the deserving today, you can use an income criteria, and BPM, there is already Rahul, can I just say something? The point is, if the government wants to be lazy about delivering expenditure, then this is what you will have. But there is need to develop a system and an architecture today. No, obviously not. But that is what the budget should signal, that they're moving in the direction of creating a better expenditure management model.
Okay. Just to give what happened in Parliament today, the walkout. I mean, this petrol price has, there has had a subsidy element. This particular duty excise existed before 2008. And yet, they walked out just at a time when Pranab Mukherjee says I was going to announce and I was announcing a series of concessions.
You want me to answer the question on the walkout or the petroleum excise duty?
Well, I guess both of them are linked, aren't they?
No, I have a fundamental problem with the excise duty on petroleum, on a different, nothing to do with the walkout. I would have been happier if we had increased the petroleum prices as part of the subsidy restructuring points that the finance minister is making. Because what this does, as I see it, is that now that you've increased the petroleum prices, the fuel prices, the chances of the Kirit Parikh report being recommended, the recommendations being implemented in the near future pretty much goes away. So it would have been great, along with the fertilizer subsidy restructuring, if the message from the budget had been, look, we're also doing the fuel price restructuring. And this debate on fuel price hikes would have been as a consequence of subsidy restructuring.
Do we have the time as a country? Do we have the time to play it out? Like Kamal Nath said, it's been 9 months into the term, we've got 5 years. Given the global economic environment, are we taking maximum advantage in your view?
And my answer that in one word is no. I think we could have done, and I think there is a need for a sense of urgency. And maybe I'm impatient, maybe a lot of us are impatient, but I don't quite get the logic for this gradualist approach. Maybe there is something there that I don't understand. But notwithstanding that, let me just add a couple more points. I think the budget has done a couple of things that are pretty solid, which is that the roadmap to fiscal consolidation is a lot more credible this year than it was last year. It has obviously provided for larger public spending outlays. But what I'd like to see, if there is a postscript to this budget, which is what everybody is saying, what I'd like to hear from the finance ministry as a postscript is, in April when the RBI does its tightening, and there is a whooshing sound of liquidity being sucked out of the system, what would replace that liquidity? Do we have a game plan to have massive doses of FDI coming in? If so, what is it? We had $20 billion this year. How do we get to $30 billion in 10-11? I mean, I think there are specific questions to which we need to get some specific answers.